Platform compatible columns essentially explains, you got Cosmo over here, and he has a demand gen engagement, a shopping engagement, and a search engagement, and a sale. So your normal conversion columns say, okay, give split credit, split credit, split credit. Now it says if demand gen has a view through, and even if they click shopping and click search and convert, we will count.
Still goes back to demand gen.
100% credit still goes right back to demand gen. And even if it's not last click, like God, Google is now just becoming Facebook. So demand gen, I get a lot of people that reach out to me about demand gen tactics, strategies, that kind of stuff. And I've been testing demand gen since 2023 when it was discovery. And I still use it today on some accounts. They're very, very, very good for like top of funnel type of campaigns. So email signups, list building, coupons, awareness, those things seems to work pretty well. They're easy to get those conversions. Now, a lot of them are junk, which is something that we're finding out. There is a big spam issue still inside of Google Ads, ecosystem, shocker, a lot of click farms, a lot of bots, essentially, mostly due to the YouTube network, which is a different topic for a different day, but essentially demand gen has YouTube in it. YouTube goes to YouTube channels. Those YouTube channels pay click farms and bots to engage with those ads and fill out forms and everything. So it gets, a higher revenue for their channel. And we do see that still to today inside of demand gen. That's a moot point, but it does bring me into a situation where we wanted to analyze this deeper. Now, if you've been following me, you've been following this channel for a while, you'll notice that we obviously measure very differently than in platform. Now we are moving back a little bit towards in platform for a visualization and execution of some data so that the campaigns and algorithms and the bidding strategies can take advantage of proper conversion events. But unless you have that sort of, high quality connection, you're kind of stuck with doing it old school, which is like now a year old, which is media efficiency ratios, looking at, NCAC metrics and targets, and then analyzing how that's actually coming about inside the paid media platforms. Well, Google did an update and they changed something called platform compatible conversion events. And platform compatible conversion events is a new column that they are testing demand gen to be using by default. And the methodology there is the same exact thing as Facebook view engage conversions. They're just called view through conversions, slightly differently. So Google has view through conversions, but they don't really necessarily count the view through conversions. Well, it's not even counted view through conversions. They're just called view through conversions, or like the engage view versus view through. The view through conversions are still there, but they're counting now a little bit differently inside of the data-driven ecosystem. What this means is that the traditional data-driven ecosystem says you have a click on demand gen or you have a view on demand gen. You have a click on search, you have a click on shopping, you have a click on brand. Okay, 25, 25, 25, 25. For just example purposes, they split the conversions differently.
Yep.
Well, Google said, you know what? Demand gen is something we want to push and no one likes it very much. So we're going to make it even more enticing, which is what it seems to be doing, which is, even if you have demand gen on and you have touch points between 4 different channels, if there is ever a view through conversion that demand gen has been a part of, it will give 100% of that credit to demand gen, along with still giving data-driven attribution conversions to the other platforms inside of Google Ads. What this means is that if your conversion column will have 0.25 in demand gen, 0.25. Well, I'll do a simple math. 2 clicks, demand gen, brand. Make it simple. Your conversion column will have 0.5 demand gen and 0.5 Google brand in search. The new conversion column that demand gen is using is 1 conversion to demand gen, 0.5 in the conversion column, so they'll actually be different, and then 0.5 inside of your search. So this new column says, if I, demand gen, ever show up anywhere in the path, I will take 100% credit for that user. It's a more aggressive attribution that has nothing to do with contribution yet again. So when I'm looking through this data, I piped in This is just an example of a campaign that we're running. And we have
Mhm.
the Data Suite server and the Data Suite server return customer piped in, so we can actually see through Data Suite here what is actually happening. So we can demystify this for us. But watch this. There's a view through conversion column here. This is still using data-driven attribution. Data-driven attribution has given this view through conversion column 1. However, if you hop over a couple columns into conversion platform compatible, which is new now to Google, you'll see, hey, demand gen actually got 16 conversions. It's got a CPA of 153. And it's got over a 1x return in this last 2 weeks where we spent $2,500 on this. Wow. Thank you, Google. Thank you for my 16 sales, my $153 CPA, and my 1x return. You guys must be doing well. Now, when you click into a little bit deeper into the platform compatible columns essentially explains, and I won't read this all to you. You all can go through this and read for yourself. This is a lot of information here, but I'll shorten it for everyone here. The old way, which I don't even know if I can blow this image up, maybe.
I like they have images in there. Oh, look at that.
Hey, that works. Look at that little old school hack of
I love the fact that
it's
a guy with a ponytail.
I know. So you got Cosmo over here.
Yes, that's Cosmo. Skin needs to be a little bit darker, but
right. Yeah. Everyone just kind of like, turn your lights off. It'll just everything become dark. So you got Cosmo over here. And he has a demand gen engagement, a shopping engagement, and a search engagement, and a sale. So your normal conversion columns say, okay, give split credit, split credit, split credit. The new way that this is working now is something like this, where if we copy the image and then use this here and go to there, now it says if demand gen has a engaged, or if it has a view through, and even if they click shopping and click search and convert, we will count.
Still goes back to demand gen.
100% credit still goes right back to demand gen. And they even mention in the verbiage that even if it's enter conversion path, full credit, search is the campaign that was last touched and gets full credit, but the other advertising platform also count a full credit for themselves for appearing one time in the conversion path.
So in each case, the other two were clicks, correct?
Yes, the other two were clicks. And if this is just even shown anywhere in the path, first, middle, last, doesn't matter. Even if they even mention, even if it's not last click. In this example, despite demand gen not appearing last, it gets the full credit. So it doesn't matter where it essentially shows up. What this basically says is, hey, and what's so funny is you can even see them calling out Facebook inside of their verbiage, but not even Facebook specifically. They call it other marketing platforms, like other advertising platforms credit assignment. Other advertising platforms give full credit for ad, even if other touch points are in the conversion path. So it's like, we're doing it too. Like, God, your Google is now just becoming Facebook. Well, which is like, if it's in a path, I'm going to count 100% of the credit. Go ahead.
If I view an Instagram ad, okay, I don't click, and then I see a Facebook ad, and I click. The Facebook ad gets the credit, gets 100% of the credit,
right?
Because it's a last click, because the click always wins over on Meta. But so I don't understand what they're saying in that particular case. Am I missing something there?
Well, they're still doing that. It still will give the credit in a data driven. However, in this new column, so it's not the column over here. The conversions are still 0. Yeah. But in this, because it didn't get a click. But in this new column, it says, hey, we showed up in paths of 16 people that ended up buying. So we give you 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's trying to validate really and say, hey, we're important too.
Yeah. And we got you 16 sales, and it's coming in at 153 because I was in a path, and because that path had a ad that was viewed. And I will take now 100% of the credit in these columns, and these columns will now show up by default when you launch a campaign. Thank God they separated them out so that you can see the differences. But here's where things got really interesting. I said, okay, that's cool. I'm going to actually import through Data Suite all of the conversions that actually came through. Total conversions, new conversions, and return conversions. And now I get to actually have click conversions to say, who are you taking credit for? So when we imported our conversions into the system utilizing our data warehouse that actually houses all of the actual traffic. When I imported them, our data suite server, which means, hey, we saw basically everything that we can see from the server, and that had 3.64 conversions. Now, when we said, okay, let's upload the matched ones, we actually had 3 conversions, and they're all returning customers. There is no one new.
Got it.
So
Got it.
I always looked at demand gen and said, okay, I've launched these. It always looks great. It always showed amazing CPA, tens, hundreds, thousands of conversions. And I see all this stuff. Now, when we measured though by NCAC and MER and the total kind of spend increase, it never came to fruition. It always looked fantastic, but it never actually benefited the company. When we're talking about things that are like sales and lead generated, like list building, sure. Or if we're talking about like, grab this coupon, grab this deal, sign up for this, that you're great. They're kind of half junky, but they're coming in like 20 cents. So who cares? If half of them are good, that means I got a 40-cent, good lead.
Sure.
But what was very, very interesting is like Google will have no problem giving you a 1x return, 153 CPA, which is actually spot on to our non-brand standard shopping, by the way. Our non-brand standard shopping is coming in at 130, 140. And this is like, I'm just as good.
Yeah.
And those are only counting all new customers, by the way. So our new customer in platform NCAC when uploading is 150. This is coming in saying, me too. I'm also 150 and I got 16 sales and I'm giving you a 1x. So be cautious